Today, we are going to make some grass. No, I'm not in Colorado, so it's not going to be that kind of grass. It's our techniques that are so simple and sensible, your mowers will practically build themselves.
Hello folks, it's Mad Dog Merv. Welcome to the Kit Hoarder Stash. Today I have a 1/700 scale ship. I know I've only reviewed a few here on the channel, but from time to time we will do more, and I have a special interest in this one. This one is from Aoshima. This is the HMS Victory, Victory. Not the Victory at Trafalgar, no. This is the HMS Victorious. British aircraft carrier, and my interest in it is to build it as what became known as the USS Robin, or the Victorious, when it was in its first deployment in the Pacific, along with the the Saratoga. Thank you. When the United States was woefully short on carriers. Start out with the destructions here. Take a look. Okay, so important information to read beforehand, blah blah blah. Let's see, where do we start this? Oh, it's got a very nice paint guide for 1941. That's good. Very good. Looks like you've got some martlets. I can't remember the string bag. The biplane torpedo plane. Sorry. You've got Spitfires, Sea Furies, and Corsairs. So nice little air arm for this. Although I won't be using most of those, but definitely will be nice to have. But nice color call out here. Late 41 through late 42 paint scheme. Very nice. Very nice. Because these British ships had some beautiful camouflage paint jobs, in my opinion. So, starting out with building your lower hull. This is waterline, of course. And then working on the bridge area. Building and putting the bridge on. Flight deck. Boats. A few anti-aircraft weapons. A bunch of antennas. And assembling your aircraft. And then, of course, your parts call out. So, total of 14 steps. Looks fairly easy. Should be a nice weekend build for me. But I have to add a few anti-aircraft guns and some other radars and such for what I am doing. And the paint scheme that this will have will actually be a U.S. Navy paint scheme. Could be measure 21 for what I'm doing with it. So, looking at the detail on the hull, you really can't see it, but the plate detail is superb. Looks great. The portholes and such, that looks really, really good. Oh, I have aircraft right here. Let's take a look at these guys. Here are the martlets, or wildcats. This is interesting. So, this also has a couple of Devastators So this is from the Wasp kit, apparently. And you got a couple of Devastators, and you got a couple of Dauntlesses, and you got 4 Wildcats or Martlets. So that's kind of a score to have these. They will not be used on this particular build, but that's neat. Good for me. Here's the Swordfish. A little bit of construction in the Swordfish. Looks like you got one with folded wings and one without. Same thing here, so you get a total of 4 Swordfish. Very nice. This one next. Here we have our water line. Part C. So here we have the water line. Some of the sponsons for the hull, the flight deck. Not the flight deck. The island. And here we have just as airplane. So we've got what appears to be a Hawker Sea Fury. Looks like, it might be a Hurricane. Nope, Spitfire. Oh, a Hurricane and a Spitfire. Oh, and a Corsair. So this has got your Spitfire, a Hurricane, I think it's called a Sea Fury. Anyway, here's your Corsair. Very, very nice. Just a nice little example of, some different aircraft that this would have had on it at some point in time during its career, which is nice because that'll give me some spares or some aircraft that I don't already have. Just a bunch of small fittings and such. You can see here. Molding's good. There's no flash. It looks, very, very good for a 700 scale kit. This is a nice molding. Okay, so here's the flight deck and part of the hull, the upper part of the hull. Interesting. Okay, well that's even more interesting. I appear to have anyway, it's a boat crane, or an aircraft handling crane. There's 2 of these on this crook-necked piece of sprue here. That's interesting. Have some life rafts, some antennas, some anti-aircraft guns, and some directors here. And a radar, looks like. And there's two of those sprues. Have a ghost in here. Closing doors. Some sort of sponson. And some more of the boats and aircraft weapons. There's 2 of these, thank goodness. Anchors. Okay, this is interesting. We've got some, appears to be bronze wire pretty thick. Here is antennas. I'm not sure what these are, but they're round, probably something to do with the anti-aircraft weapons. And a card. Okay. Okay, here's our weight. The decals look pretty interesting here. Quite an extensive little decal sheet. We have a bunch of national insignias, roundels, flags for the ship, as well as landing markings for the deck. So that's a pretty nice decal sheet. And that's it. That's a lot more to the kit than I anticipated. When you look at the directions, the instructions, doesn't look like there's a whole lot there, but there's plenty here. The quality of this mold looks great, so definitely something I would recommend if you like building 700, if you're into the British aircraft carriers, or like me, just trying to do something weird like the supposed USS Robin. It'll be fun. So, thanks for joining us today, folks, and we'll see you next week on The Stash.